should we discuss the sports that we considered talking about today? David sent some topics in. Nobody responded to those topics. Billy sent a text asking for topics. Domonique.
Oh, no, Charlie and I have a whole other side thing with a bunch of real topics.
Charlie made a doc, a secret side doc full of sports topics.
I feel like we all need to get on the same page because that's not super helpful.
Okay.
Because, like, if Pablo doesn't know and David doesn't know, then it's not, they don't know what you want to talk about, and then they can't prepare to respond to what you want to talk about.
Now, Charlie did include us on the doc.
Okay.
I opened the doc.
Billy,
then,
you too.
Okay.
And
But not
you're
me or
on the
Lucy.
doc.
That's very
Interesting.
helpful then.
That's
yeah.
interesting.
Why did you leave them out?
So I
wonder.
think what we need to do is look at the email from Carl and send that doc to everybody who's going to be on the show that particular day. I think that would make the most sense if we could do that going forward. That'd be
David,
great.
we agree.
So we will do that. And I'm guilty because when I go on this show, I send
You could just
topics
put a
only to
period
the
after I'm
EP
guilty.
and to Dan.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And you guys never participate in the segment, and now I realize I should be giving you the topics.
Yeah.
I was trying to, like, go have a good time, loosey-goosey. We're not going to be too structured. But if we want to, like, be organized, we should have the hierarchy in this room properly established. Like, because I'm a kind guy, I allow Pablo to sit in the middle. Because clearly, I'm the star.
Yeah, well, before the show started, that's kind of what was going on, is figuring out who sat where. Also, I was told that the Google Doc was sent to my ESPN email, which has not been active
It's what auto-populated.
for 3 years.
It's
so
what
that kind of-
auto-populated.
That's why that happened.
That is perfect.
Oh, Lord.
That sums it up. I assumed that Pablo would be in Dan's chair.
All right.
But are you saying that was a discussion pre-show while I was taping Nothing Personal live?
that was
that there was a
definitely-
discussion of where people are sitting?
Yeah, Pablo came and asked me. It's like, do you mind if I sit in the middle?
That is not what happened.
Okay, you tell her how you want to tell it.
I said I should sit in Dan's chair, and David Samson coughs all of the time, so he should sit in the other chair that has a cough button.
I knew,
And so
Pablo,
that's
that
where
you were going to
Greg-
sit there because
Yeah.
you have to do the arm thing.
Yeah. Listen, guys, I'm from the wrong side of the tracks.
Oh, God. That's all you had?
I'm still
thought there was
workshopping
way
this
more.
character.
Also, how predictable was it that Domonique was going to be fake aggrieved by Pablo sitting in the hosting chair when he had no desire to actually sit there?
Oh, here it is. Kravitz, yes.
Zero desire.
Yes.
To
This is Charlie's only reason to be here because he's the only one of you guys not scared enough to challenge me.
It is amazing that you came with somebody.
Oh, why?
I mean, it's great to see
I mean, hold
Charlie,
on,
but that
hold
was
on. You come alone?
That is the goal.
yes,
Okay.
mostly.
Okay.
But my point is that it is interesting that you came with reinforcements, and you're still in chair 2.
Okay. See, this is the thing is you guys think that you can do the, like, insecurity move that I do to you guys on me, but that move doesn't work on me. Like, I'm not. Yes, I came with somebody. I need help. Charlie's my guy. That
You made a
that
doc.
conversation. Yeah.
It's a good doc. Billy, you should see it.
I'm looking at it right now.
Do we have? Hold on. Let me. Hold on. Let me assert power and dominance. Play the video of the guy barfing on himself.
Say his name, Pablo.
I don't know his name. What's his
Hold
name?
on a second. I got to give him a heads up so they get
Can't
that
do
ready.
that.
Yes.
Why are we? I did not respond. to this.
Oh, Lucy, I think that's the guy that stole your credit card at Buffalo Wild Wings.
He bought lemonade.
That's
I
lemonade?
once fired a guy for doing this. The milk challenge.
Wait.
You fired a guy
Samson
for getting
is-
sick?
What?
Yep.
What? Why?
Yes.
Oh, gosh.
Do you know what this video is?
So this is the July 4th Nathan's hot dog eating contest undercard, in which they are chugging lemonade, and I believe is that Eric Badlands Booker who won?
It's a
I
gallon
hope
of
it
lemonade.
is.
Yes,
Otherwise,
Pablo, it is.
thank you. Not racist. Eric Badlands Booker, champion, hand encouragingly on the shoulder of that dude whose name is.
Airsoft Fatty.
Did he do that in 21 seconds?
Yeah, it was a world record. A gallon of lemonade.
It's
Sports.
it's insane.
And you would fire somebody for that.
So we had a player pay a ball boy to drink a gallon of milk.
Hold on.
And do you know that you cannot drink a gallon of milk without vomiting? There's a little known fact.
It's a myth.
No, it's not a myth.
Definitely a myth.
It's I watched it. It's not a myth.
Well, who's gonna try it now?
Don't. Do not. We're not doing that.
Can we get a top 5 list
Who
at
wants
some
to get
point?
fired?
At some point in the show
Of myths?
No. Of ridiculous reasons why David Samson has fired someone. I fired someone for throwing up? That's got to be number 1.
No, it's not.
Wait, hold on.
It
Let's-
probably wouldn't even make my
let's-
top 5, but
What? Oh, I was joking.
So
but I need
OLI,
this
do we
list.
have the sound?
No, we got to give him some time. You
I
got to
don't
give him
have
some
a
time.
top 5 off the top of my head because.
But we'll start with OLI, the time that someone puked because a player made them chug a gallon of
So a
milk.
player paid a ball boy, and the ball boy did it and puked. And way too dangerous. You can die from doing it. You can go to the hospital from doing it. We weren't going to release the player, though we were upset with the player.
Who was it?
But we said to the ball boy that's it. Sorry. You're done. You cannot just do things for players like that.
Huh.
Can we guess which player did that?
You could guess, though I don't think that you will be able
Melky
to.
Cabrera.
Melky Cabrera.
Well played.
Was it Mike
Melky Cabrera was never a Marlin.
Antonio
or an Expo.
Alfonseca?
I'm going for the joke here, buddy.
Whoa, what was the joke?
Because it was
Milk.
milk. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I didn't hear Melky.
It's
Milky.
funnier when you have to explain it. No, it was
Way funnier.
good by you.
Thank you so much.
So when did you you called him in the same day, the next day, or?
Did he change shirts?
It was
So in the video, to be very clear, as
that guy's-
the guy whose name is again
Airsoft fatty.
was vomiting on himself, facing forward to the crowd, seemingly despondent, but not so despondent that he turned around, which is just an interesting psychological space to be in.
He
and
also,
then,
if you look at the video, drank very little lemonade. There's probably 3/4 of that lemonade left in that jar.
Did anyone else think of Stand By Me when they watched that video? Or is that an age thing? Nobody? No one's ever heard of that movie? Thank you.
Lean on me.
Lean on Me is a great movie. Morgan
haven't-
Freeman. Why is Morgan Freeman is so amazing? He's getting older, and
We all are.
we're all doing that. And when we celebrate him, I hope he lives for another 25 years. I think he goes down as a top 5 actor of my lifetime because I've been watching him since The Electric Company.
Oh,
When I
yeah,
was
that was
young.
like a kid's show, right?
Yeah, with Sesame Street.
What's your favorite line from Lean on Me? It's only one right answer. I'll give it to you because I don't think you're going to get it.
Okay,
You smoke crack, don't you?
I would not have had
It's the best line in all.
I can't tell this is a
I
test.
lost. Oh, no, it's not a test. It's not a test.
No one had that.
Well, there's 13% of the audience appreciated that. You're welcome, guys.
So this player paid how much?
It's less than you'd think. You can get people to do a lot of things for not a lot of money. It's really quite staggering. It is. It's sort of the Divine Brown situation.
So
But-
can I ask a question? I don't. So this.
Hold on,
It's a
my
reference.
mental computer is processing 19,000 Divine Brown jokes.
This yes, and I hope they're being deleted as we speak.
As you're
Yeah.
processing.
This ball boy got fired. Why? So what's the justification? Assuming that you're a lawyer and you're prepared for
Well,
any sort
they're
of
all at will.
right.
So I
okay,
don't.
so you don't have to.
No.
But anyway, I still think that you had to tell. What did you tell him his reason for being let go was?
Well, one of the most common reasons that you fire people is when they're not doing their job. They're instead hanging out with players, or they're watching BP, or they're doing things that they shouldn't. You're in the
watching
sales
UP?
department. They
BP.
shouldn't be watching BP.
Noted.
That's not your job. Your job is to be in sales. Or if you're in in-game entertainment, what are you doing? On the field, things like that, or why are you coming down to the clubhouse and getting autographs? Why are you taking tickets and reselling them? It's things that are not your job and you get fired for. So ball boys, they have a hard job. It's really a brutal job. You're working for tips. You're cleaning up crap. You're doing favors for players all the time. And when a player asks you to do something, they're always going to do it. That would be a top 5 list, things that players have asked.
Okay.
And I think you can appreciate this.
we got two top 5 lists coming from you later in the show.
They will. Yes.
Putting it in the doc.
I think that you'll appreciate the top 5 things that have been asked by players.
I can't wait.
because you'll relate to it. I mean,
No, I mean we do. So football is different. We're not as much. We're not around the facility nearly as much. We're not traveling as much. So like we mostly do the things for ourselves and like maybe have rookies do stuff. But we don't have the same relationship. Whether you're baseball players, you're there every day. You're traveling all the time. So I would understand why the relationship with ball boys might be different. But I still haven't gotten to understand why you would fire the ball boy after you just said that they don't say no to anyone. It would seem that
we
the
need
person
them just to have the judgment to know what to do and what not to do. Judgment's a big part of being a. Were you ever a bat boy or ball boy?
I was not. Oh yeah, I'm assuming you're talking to me.
I
You're
was.
looking at me. Yeah.
Well, I mean, judgment's a big part of being a human
wasn't.
being. So like,
He's looking at the person who has the most ball boy energy behind the glass, and
I
Billy
would
was
think
like,
if
"Yeah, that's probably
anyone
me."
would be a ball boy, it would be you, Billy, as a
No.
Marlin fan growing up. You never got a chance to be a guest bat boy or ball boy?
No, is that a thing they do?
Yes.
Really?
never too late.
Yes.
It's too late. Yeah.
There-
Even though it's
he's too
not.
old.
Am I? I
Yeah.
feel like it's like an old person job now,
Yeah.
right?
No.
Because after Dusty Baker's kid ran on the field
Well,
at 3 years old, then they made it like you have to be 18.
Right.
And then like at
Yes.
18, you also kind of lose the like, I want to be a ball boy. Or most people do.
There was recently, and by the way, bat boy, ball boy,
I'm using them interchangeably.
just a
but
point of
They
clarification.
are different.
So there's a bat boy and ball boy who travels with them on the road. That's not an adult.
No.
Oh, it's
There's
not.
clubbies who travel on the road.
and they do the
Like
bat boy.
you have to supply bat boys for the road team and the home team, and you supply clubbies. The road clubhouse has its own clubbies that are paid for by the home team.
We still haven't gotten to the bottom of why. So you fired him because he has poor judgment.
I'm trying to think if there's a better reason to fire somebody.
Was it Brad Penny?
Lack of.
Was it $500? There was an article about it.
No, there's.
Someone came in and told me. So unless there
I
was
just found the
a
article.
spy, yeah, then
Suspended bat boy mulling 2 offers, August 25th, 2005. Got milk, question mark, an unidentified Florida Marlins bat boy does. Bat boy, bat person. After the bat boy was suspended 6 games for accepting a dare from Los Angeles Dodgers pitcher Brad Penny, a former Marlin, to drink a gallon of milk in less than an hour without vomiting, the Milk Processor Education Program wants to compensate him. This is a rabbit hole that I
Google is the
wasn't ready
greatest
to,
thing in the
to
history.
go into.
Why are people complaining about Google? I have not found that to
Bad.
be anything. Why is
Google's
it bad?
I think it's worse than it was. It's not bad. I think it's.
How you just found something from
yeah.
20 years ago?
Because I'm really good at using Google, but it's bad. It does take us a lot of energy to not talk about the things we've been talking about between segments. To talk
We'll
about
save it for later.
sports.
We'll save it for later
All right.
because that one is really good. I
That's
like
a
that
really
one.
good one. I want to start with something, though, that Domonique declared he did not care at all about, which is the Bronny James story. Because David Samson managed in 4 seconds to make him care. Because David Samson is exercised
I'm worked up.
about LeBron, and I want to understand why.
The Los Angeles Lakers are so full of, and LeBron is the key conductor of that, and it offends me. All they had to do
Offends.
was have J.J. Redick tell the truth when he was hired. All LeBron had to do was tell the truth about his involvement in J.J. Redick, his involvement in the operation of the team. None of them ever copped to drafting Bronny as though he was some sort of talent. P's player development case study 1 is what J.J. Redick said. Give me a break. Then they gave him $7.9 million guaranteed money for a player that didn't deserve a nickel guaranteed. Then LeBron does a victory lap saying, I took less than the maximum. Look at me. Meanwhile, the James family got more than the maximum, which is a cap violation. But the NBA will never investigate it because they suck at the teat of LeBron and the Lakers. Yeah, I'm worked up.
Okay. So when I say someone is obviously playing a character, how can you pretend like I'm not being honest?
That's not a
because
character.
so you are David, you don't see the obvious reason why you are the worst person possible to make this argument? To make an argument that somehow LeBron James's nepotism is the issue here is
I told you, so if you listen to Nothing Personal, I'm not against nepotism. I'm a beneficiary of nepotism, but how about admitting it? Why can't there just be why can't J.J. Redick acknowledge what the Lakers did for LeBron?
You, as someone who ran an organization and has told us a number of times about the many things that you have lied about, and you explained why you had to lie, are pretending as if you don't understand why they can't admit it. Like, what
I
are
am
we
giving
doing
my
here, Pablo?
audience a lot of credit, and I am telling them that this is not the example that we would use when I would lie to people. It's when there was a possibility that people would buy what I am selling. There is no one buying that Bronny James got $7.9 million because of his ability.
I want to explain the specific financial criticism you're making, though, because I don't think our audience necessarily is following as fluently as you are assuming, which is Bronny James got guaranteed money, right? Mm-hmm. So how much guaranteed money did he get?
$7.9 million over 4 years.
55th pick in the draft, second rounder, right? So guaranteed 7.9. LeBron took a pay cut of some amount.
Just he signed for below the max.
I think it was like $3 million.
2.7, which helped the Lakers tremendously, kept them under the second apron.
Right.
It also enables them to keep a draft pick like in 2032 as draft capital, and it gives them a mid-level exception of 12.9, so there was a reason for it.
And I guess I would think that you would understand that there are some business decisions and arrangements that are worked out in a way that are not always completely, like we had this conversation earlier, and that's what surprises me is they didn't break any laws, right? So why is this particular, and this is where I get upset with you and people like you, is it feels like it depends on who is the person who is circumventing the rules in order to get an advantage without actually breaking them, that determines whether you're going to celebrate it as some crafty business maneuver or you're going to say, this is bullshit. Like, that's what offends me about you.
So thank you, and I love the communication. What's crafty, if it had been crafty, then we're not having the conversation. Half the stuff I did never got to Letterman or got to the paper.
Except for the time it got to Letterman.
Except for the time it gets to Letterman.
Apparently, at the time, Brad Penny said it's ridiculous that he's getting 6-game suspension for drinking milk when you get suspended 10 games for doing steroids.
That's
a good point.
That is, listen, hard to
Pretty good
argue
point.
with Brad Penny.
So I would like to say this. We are currently not on ESPN. I work at ESPN. And when we do First Take at ESPN, I understand that we have to kind of, in order to, even if you feel like you have been one-upped in an argument and you lost, you have to kind of fight it out because we got to fill up the rest of the segment. It kind of undercuts the show if you're like, hey, yeah, you got me there. LeBron is better than MJ. We're done. You know? But in this setting, David, we can stop this and move on to one of our many other topics by you just admitting, yeah, Domonique, you're right. What I'm saying is completely unfair and my opinion is completely predicated on who is the one who is circumventing the rules. That's all.
I just want to get that down.
Yeah.
I want to get it exactly right. Yeah, Domonique?
Yeah.
Is it yeah, Domonique?
Sure.
Not yes?
You can go yes, whatever you're comfortable with. But
that's like
Can
using
I
the wrong emoji.
can I try to be a David Samson translator? I want to workshop David's spin of why he is criticizing some lies while also being the person who is most famous in our business for acknowledging when he himself lied in a parallel position. David has taken the position in sports media of being the guy who is saying, if you can't fool me with your lie, I'm going to call you out for lying, and I'm the only one who can do that because I have been a giant liar.
Okay, so I think that no one here believes that they are being fooled by this lie. Like, we had this conversation in the pre-show where I said, when people ask me to do something and I change my mind and say I don't want to do it, I say, hey, I don't really feel like it. I'm good. Whereas most people, I think, make up a lie. And I said, why make up the lie? Because the person who is receiving it recognizes that you're lying. And then you guys made the fair point that it's kind of like a courtesy where they know you're lying, I know you're lying, but you care enough about me to make up some foolishness. I think this falls in the same category because on its face, no, and I think a lot of the things that, like when you would argue about sellouts, or you would argue that you guys would lie about sellouts. You would argue that, right? We all knew it was bull, but we were like, all right, David, we appreciate you taking a shot at the lie. Like, I think this falls in the same category, and obviously you would never be so terribly offended by a team president or a team owner misleading the public about how many tickets they're selling or how good they think their team is going to be. So when you are going into a full rebuild...
It's different, though, in a salary cap league. It's different in a salary cap league when we're talking about when you're screwing around with salary cap, salary floor, and
But the
payroll.
way that they did it gave them more room. So it's not as if, like, I don't understand the point that you're making. So you're saying that they're getting some unfair advantage over the other teams. That's what you're upset about.
I'm saying they're giving LeBron James more than LeBron James is allowed to get.
So
he's getting over the max, and he's getting credit for going under the max, and that's what bothers me.
So we should point out there's also an argument, a strong argument, that suggests that the Lakers cap is actually worse because they got Bronny. But what David is saying is that LeBron and Bronny and the Lakers are acting in concert. It's an inside job. And so LeBron James giving money back is not actually giving money back because the family is getting the money. And so what this raises, Domonique, is I think it's an eternal point that I think you and I have talked about, Domonique, actually, which is like the max salary and salary caps and like LeBron James giving something back, what that says about a sport in which he can't get more because, of course, there are laws keeping his full financial potential in check.
So by your own words, the NBA has been sucking at LeBron James' teat. They have gotten more value from LeBron James than LeBron James has gotten from them. Well, they've gotten more value from LeBron James than they've paid him. We'd agree with that. The fact that the max salary exists is evidence to that.
So there are very few examples where a company doesn't get a greater benefit from the action of an employee.
Okay, so yes.
LeBron's been paid $583 million in his career. Has the Lakers gone up in value by more than $583 million? Yes. That's why people want to own teams.
Okay, so what it sounds like to me is they have found a way to. So if you were running a company, and it has to be a sports team or not, and there was a way that you could compensate someone who's made you billions of dollars, and there was a way that you could go about doing it that was not illegal, and it would only cost you a couple $1 million, you'd obviously do it. And I hate that I find that it seems like I'm in the position where I'm defending the move that the Lakers did, because like I recognize that is naked nepotism, and I'm not a proponent of that in any way, but I also don't care that much that they're finding a way to give a man who's made them billions of dollars, find a way to give his family $7 million more dollars. That to me is odd, and I can't believe that you don't see how differently you view these situations depending on the person who is making the decision or who is benefiting from this. Like I could use countless examples of how teams and owners and leagues circumvent laws and rules in order to benefit a lot more than one dude getting $8 million and to be up in arms today over that and not recognize the hypocrisy of that is confusing to me.
Related, we still need David Samson's top 5 people he's fired. But proceed.
Yeah, Domonique.
Okay.
I totally agree that in this instance, I have made a mistake with this position.
That's all.
And I think that we should go back to talking about the topic we were going to talk about before.
Dan's, maybe.
Yeah, you want dance?
I'm proud of you, man. Good job. See, the good thing about admitting that you are wrong is that now you're right. So great.
You're exhausting. In a good way. It's fun to be
I-
with you. Would you like a jelly bean?
Nah, I'm good, man.
Thank you for saying no.
Yeah.
One anyway.
That was nice.
But I want to get to the LeBron part of this for a second
Sure.
because
It's
I
a
do
real
think
story.
Oh, it's a real story because the most famous athlete in basketball, maybe on the planet, Leo Messi, Cristiano Ronaldo notwithstanding, is figuring out ways in which he can realize the true value of being LeBron James at age 40.
Right.
And so the strongest argument for why Bronny was taken by the Lakers and why it's not a big deal is what Domonique was alluding to, which is this is just part of the way that you make LeBron James whole.
Right.
And so the idea of, is this a hill worth defending and dying on because they could have taken someone else who they may have cut in camp or just been a two-way contract, I cannot get exercised about this because I live in the realpolitik of like superstar management.
So there are benefits that come along with being one of the greatest ever to do it. Like there are benefits with coming along with just being rich in America. And one of the benefits is you get to tell your team who to draft at 55. And yes, you could make an argument that this is a spot that this could have been Patty Mills. Or this is whoever was there, like you could make that argument. It's a hard argument to make, but on the just baseline of ethical behavior, yes, you are right that it is unethical if we accept that Bronny James does not deserve this spot. Yes, I agree it is unethical to force him in there. However, the other argument you could make is a defense of Bronny in that this is not great for him.
He looks despondent, doesn't he?
I have no space for arguing that LeBron James does not deserve this or is finding a way to circumvent the cap and all that stuff. That's the stuff that annoys me. So, like, if you want to talk about, like, this is setting Bronny up for a failure, this is not good for him, they don't need the money, so why are they doing this, putting him in this kind of lose-lose situation, I'm on board with that. I have a harder time getting on board with you saying, well, but the 55th pick, though. But I can still get on board with that just on, like, basic ethical behavior.
The thing about what LeBron is doing, right, in his wanting of things, in his hunger to get ways to feel like he's being made whole, I think brings us to a point at which you guys actually probably have some philosophical alignment. Why is David grinning slyly while looking at the other side of the glass?
Part of the email I also got was to make sure that Lucy and Jess are engaged.
Oh, they are.
And I was trying to figure out.
I'm finishing my F1 minute.
You are finished? Okay, thank you for that. That race, by the way, was unbelievable.
I'm not here to talk about
I
race.
thought
One
you
of
were
the
going to
best of
make a
the year.
joke about me being Domonique's Nepo baby for the week. That's what I thought you were grinning about.
You're his security blanket. You're his pacifier. I dig it. And Lucy was writing something, so I didn't know what she was doing. So that's what I was
I
thinking.
wasn't working. I was doodling.
You were doodling?
Oh boy.
Can you
Can you-
show
can
us
you
what
show
you were
it?
doodling?
Yeah. Are you doing the S's with like a
So-
bunch of like lines that you then like?
You practicing your
Recently,
signature?
I've started junk journaling, which is just you take junk that you like mail or like coffee slips or just whatever you have. And so I've been into scrapbooking and junk journaling. So I've been doing stickers
Oh, my gosh. That's incredible.
and little pictures.
That's
It makes me less sad
Kind
when I
of.
look at like my daily schedule and stuff. Where it's like, oh, I have work to do, but look, cute stickers.
So you just grab any junk that's around?
No, so it's like it can like be based off of what
Oh,
you
yeah.
did that day or like it's all random stuff.
Does anybody have something in their algorithm that's slightly more interesting than phone updates?
I get a lot of bodybuilders now.
What?
Male or female?
Why?
Male.
They know you're working on your summer bod.
Yeah. They've overheard me talking about getting on gear, taking tren.
Oh,
These are
yeah,
just
we've
terms.
talked about this. Domonique, me and you, we should have done a cycle when we were doing
Yeah. We're
Thanks for including the rest of us. No idea what you're talking
We
about.
didn't work together at that point. This is when we did a show together.
we all did steroids
Yeah.
together for a while.
We wanted to be jacked like Domonique.
Yeah.
Did you actually do a cycle together?
Well, according to my algorithm, yes. Turns out I'm very, very fluent in how you would use lots of testosterone and or tren and or HGH regimens to get the results that you need. And what's jarring to me, I guess I never really thought about this, is like how much bodybuilding is entirely aesthetic.
Yeah.
Like the
Spray tans. I see
the
spray tan
tans,
videos a lot.
it's I'm like, I guess it's not for me to criticize how much people love spray tans.
Well, you thought people got to like 455 pounds and jacked for health reasons, not for aesthetic reasons?
But even that it was more about like a functional strength. It's so entirely like people photoshopping their bodies. There's a YouTuber who's really popular, one of the most popular. This is how I got started on this. There's this kid, Sam Sulek, who's one of these YouTubers. I don't know if you ever heard of him. People out there in the world may have. He is one of the most popular YouTubers. He's 5'11", approximately 300 pounds maybe, but fully jacked. Maybe find a photo of him. And there's this whole conversation on the internet about like natty or not, about whether they take steroids or not.
They obviously do, right?
Every
So-
bodybuilder takes steroids.
Yeah, I thought so.
You can't get that
It's
body
like professional
naturally.
wrestling in the 90s, right? Or maybe still.
Or the
Some
2010s.
Some
Yeah, I don't-
people
20s.
I don't
claim
watch
that
it
they
anymore.
don't, but it makes me think that they're lying to me. And so I've just been consuming lots of videos to try and fact check whether any of these guys are on steroids, and my investigation continues.
Your body is Exhibit 1. Mine is Exhibit 1A, not steroid.
Huh.
You can't have your body and be on steroids.
What is that
normally.
supposed to mean?
You might look. If you're trying to say that my testicles are enormous,
What's going on?
Actually, they shrink on steroids.
that
Well, that's
was-
why
that
he's
was-
saying,
yeah.
because
That was
he's.
the point.
Yeah.
We're gonna refer back to Dominique's previous.
Yeah,
counsel
Domonique. Let it
about
germinate
Yeah.
when it's funny. Wait, what do I do when it's not funny, though?
it may not be for you. Like maybe if you don't get it, let it go. But if you know that it was like a real not funny joke, we can pounce on it and we can make it funny by pointing out that it's not funny.
So
Yeah.
we just let it last longer.
Yeah, you could leave it there, or you could just point out.
So
that
how
it's not
long
funny.
would you go with Pablo's testicles? Like
I
a
would-
minute?
0.
0. So
If Pablo wants to reference his testicles, just be quiet. Because if it was funny, the people who appreciate it will laugh. If it's not funny, Pablo's awkward silence while we all sit there and say, "Why are you talking about your nuts?" That would be funny. You, on the other hand, trying to correct him on how to affect the size of testicles, not funny.
Thank you, Domonique.
But the way that you
I got that.
The way that you took us to the paper, pretty funny.
I'm listening. I'm
Nice.
thinking about
Man's learning. He's getting better, guys. Coach him up.
it. I am coachable.
David has been maintaining his own junk journal all show,
But it's just the size of people's testicles.
and things that you learn in 3rd grade.
I admit that there are things I don't think about. I'd like to understand how algorithms work, and I don't. I understand when I buy something that I'm going to get more of that thing, but I don't know how you get a bodybuilding video or a scary video without you doing something.
So
to
before
warrant it.
we get to how algorithms work, I think we need to work on basic human interaction. That's step 1. We'll get to algorithms later.
Well, I want to get to algorithms now.
Lucy?
Okay, so basically when you first get a social media account, it's going to send you all the different videos,
Right.
dancing videos, cooking videos. It's going to track if you like them, if you share them, if you bookmark them, and how long you watch them. So if you watch the entirety of a bodybuilder video, it's going to track that you're doing that, and it's going to feed you more and more, and it's just going to keep track of how long you're watching these videos.
But would you agree then that Pablo had to have done something with bodybuilding?
Well,
Yeah,
yeah,
he
he
said
had
he
to
did.
watch the video, which he's explained that he's already watched the videos.
I think it probably also, I'm guessing it probably makes a like proto or archetype of a person who has similar behavior as you, and then sends you videos that people like that. People who like these videos normally like these videos, would be my guess.
I'm sorry, talking to David right now in this fashion makes me concerned that this is what like Joe Biden's cabinet is doing all day.
Oh, God.
That's not nice. Now that you've gone over, I am happy to have fun as much as you want to, and you can use me as your character. Do not compare me to what they do for Biden.
Do not call me a Democrat, is what he's saying.
No.
If you guys, I'm curious if your algorithms all remember, like in the early YouTube days when the way the algorithm worked was like you could watch YouTubes all day long and you would keep feeding you videos, but eventually you'd end up on Gangnam Style. Like all videos went back to Gangnam Style. Apparently that was like how they designed their algorithm. I don't know, but my Instagram algorithm will go from like me watching a tutorial on like how to do nails to like Christian, like super Christian videos.
What?
After like 3 videos, like all roads go back to like Christian influencer.
We talking like Christian McCaffrey Christian, Olivia Culpo Christian?
No, like Christian the religion, not Christian the McCaffrey.
And she sends every single one of those videos to me.
I send them all to Lucy, and then I keep getting more.
So
but
they
before
think you
I
like
started
'em.
doing that,
Are they trying to convert you?
I have no idea.
What's the goal of the video?
They're all different. I don't know how to explain it. I think we showed one on air once. They're all different though. It's like this is my life and this is what I do here, and it's like a bunch of like Christian activities. I don't know.
You gotta stop sharing those. They click off them. Charlie sent me some nonsense about ranch dressing, and I got out of that.
You asked for them.
Because you said they were funny, and then I watched them.
One
and,
of them was funny.
Yeah, it was kind of funny. And then I started getting stories about people. So it's about. You can explain it, Charlie.
British people trying ranch for the first time, and they
Yeah.
drop their British accents and say ranch like Americans when they try it. And it's kind of funny.
All right, the first one was funny, and then I was like, all right, let's get out. It's out of my algorithm now. I've skipped enough of them that they know I don't care about the Brits and their ranch.
Speaking of white parties, though,
Oh,
my algorithm has also been the white party, the Michael Rubin white party, because I've clicked on all of them.
Have you been to it?
No, David, I'm here with you in the mud.
It's quite a party.
you've been.
So no,
Okay.
I'm 1 degree away. I'd like to get 0 degrees away, but I'm 1 degree away. I want to go one time. That's it. Just to say that I went.
I'm sorry, what's the degree?
know people who
The
go
Hamptons.
there.
No, I think
it's
I think
in the
he's-
Hamptons.
I think he's
where I
asking
live.
who's the person. Like you said, you're 1 degree away. Is there a person, or what's the like?
So there's people in the baseball world
Mm-hmm.
who go, and then there are the people who work at the party are the same people who work at my house.
Oh,
So they take.
so maybe
the
you could
week.
work it.
Yeah, I was thinking that too.
I
Maybe you
could
go-
work
You're
it.
talking about like wearing a disguised construction worker outfit, maybe, then
Like
embedding with
YMCA
them.
style. No, but there's the construction. There's a load in and a load out. It's a very big. It's an 8-day affair. So load in is 6 days. Load out is 2 days.
So you got to be part of the load-in crew, and then you have to like do
So-
inside man it. You
well,
know what I
you're
mean?
still all of them are on duty the night of the
No,
party.
no. What he's
No.
saying is you sneak in with them while they're getting ready.
Yeah.
And then you get in a potted plant
You
and
make-
stay there until the party starts.
You make a
While
false
wearing
wall,
white.
you hide behind the wall, and then day of the party, you break out while no one's paying attention.
Perhaps a room service cart. You get in there.
Yeah, that's nice.
It's become the party of the summer.
Wait, are we talking about the Michael Rubin white party?
hope so.
I thought we were talking about when the Marlins Batboy drank a bunch of milk. That white party.
That was not a party. I didn't even have a party at that moment. We're talking about the Michael Rubin
The-
white party that just happened.
It's amazing to me that they didn't play.
I'm going to
any-
refer back to the notes in David's journal about
The only thing I saw from that come
Yeah.
out of that
I'm
party
trying,
was
man.
the
I'm
picture of
trying.
Drake, where he looked like very
Right.
sad and tired.
He.
and
Speaking
old.
of someone who hadn't slept in a while, Drake in that photograph.
You know who? Kendrick Lamar has run the best campaign of the entire summer. It's been incredible. And it comes to mind because they didn't play any Kendrick Lamar at the party because Drake was there performing, which seems impossible to me that you cannot play the song of the summer at what is supposedly the party of the summer. But I guess you don't want to disrespect Drake in that situation. But it made it feel like, as cool as that party and popular as that party is, Kendrick kind of made it feel whack by releasing his video on the same day, dressing in all white, while his criticism of Drake is that he is a white person culturally who is stealing black culture, while all you famous black celebrities are at this party dressed in all white. Kendrick's won the summer, guys. I wish he could run for president.
Kind of made the white party feel like the Live tour. I agree.
Yeah,
It's sort of like, what did you say? Oh, okay. There's a
You would
whole
appreciate- I don't know how much-
authoritarian vibe here.
I don't know how much you've kept up with the beef, but you would definitely appreciate how methodical and disciplined Kendrick has been from the beginning of it. Like, it seems like every play, every move that he's made has been well thought out, years to plan, all the way to the pop-out concert, to the music video release. It's just been
It's
massive.
prestige-like. You
Yeah.
got to be willing to cut off your finger. If you're gonna, you got to do everything for the bid.
Speaking of the prestige, we stuffed David into a white cake and loaded it into the party. The prestige.
What a pop-out.
Helen of Troy.
That too.
I'm in for whatever we would do. It'd be very good. I think the better person to go to that party though would be Stugotz.
Yeah,
Him
don't they-
walking around that party.
Somebody mentioned it. You made me think of this. Someone mentioned this earlier, that they like evaluate people's.
Yeah, I saw a clip. I don't know if it was from this year or another year. I think he was on Part of My Take saying that at the end of every year they evaluate everyone's performance and they cut 75 people because there's a 350 person max.
Oh my god.
So
And
every year there's 75 people chopped off.
So
Stugotz
Stugotz
for the
would-
business people.
Stugotz's white clothes would be stained yellow by his fingers.
Terrible.
but I feel like as a party participant, Pablo would be the best of the people that are here, and Stu probably be pretty good. I think I'd be among the worst.
Because you would just refuse to actually make small talk.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I'm just not a party type of guy. I'm a good time sometimes, but
What
like
do you like?
you guys,
Scary videos.
you guys. So I think more than anything, it was small interactions that are like genuine. Whereas party, I feel like is unless you're drunk, it's a lot more performative.
See, this isn't true. We were in Vegas for the Super Bowl, and Domonique said he didn't like parties. Next thing you know, he was tickle fighting Brandon Marshall at Jason Kelsey's Super Bowl party, and didn't want to leave. Didn't want to leave.
As I mentioned before,
Who won the tickle fight?
Man, undefeated against B. Marsh. He couldn't get open against me. I had 2 picks against him when we played them, and also plenty of tickle wins. He's so big and cuddly. He's not ripped like me.
Can I introduce Domonique to a new friend after the break? Domonique keeps lobbing very philosophical questions.
They're not for now. These are like potential
We're about to
fallbacks
start the
on-
show.
I know. We already had something to talk about, and then I throw something out because I'm like, all right, we got to do a lot of hours for a lot of week, so let's just have stuff.
You're just chumming the waters.
No, I just got to give people stuff put in their head. This is how you do the show. You guys don't know how to do this. I know how to do this.
I'm writing it down in the doc. That I'm trying to
Exactly, but like
maintain.
you just see what sparks people, and then you
But
have it for later.
Here's the tricky part is that, and you'll find this out throughout the week, every day it's different people. So like you're chumming the water with people who may not be here tomorrow. So if you get a bite, then that fish may not be there tomorrow.
I got you. However, we still have a lot today, so like we're headed.
We don't.
into.
This is it.
This is the last segment.
Yeah.
done. What do you mean?
We're finished. Yeah. Time flies.
Flew
huh?
by today. That was fun.
Well, in that
river
case, yeah, this
moving.
river was not lazy.
No, it was full of milk.
Oh gosh.
Be a weird river.
Nice job, David. Nice
Let
job.
it go.
Just let it sit
Let it
there,
go.
baby.
Simmered,
I deserve that.
boiled.
Why would the river be filled with milk?
Please don't become a Samson.
Can I confess how much I watched the Team USA assembling videos? Again, algorithmic. I'm now getting served all of the Team USA content, and I've been watching all of it. And part of it just makes me feel like a kid. Like, I don't know if you guys can show this as B-roll, but it's like watching LeBron dap up Steph.
I watched a lot of it too. I watched the video of them all trying to spin a basketball. I watched videos of them practicing. It was good stuff.
How amazing was it that Steph and LeBron can't spin a basketball in their fingers?
It was shocking.
Oh, I missed this one.
Yeah. So everyone was doing like their little isolated, like photo shoot sort of things, and they were asking them social media questions, and they were asked them all, could you spin a basketball? And Steph was very embarrassed that he could not. And then there were some other players, I think it might have been AD, who kind of was like, of course. They asked them, do you think other players can? And they were like, of course. Like, who can't spin a basketball on their hand? And Steph can't, LeBron can't.
I just figured that I was beyond being like starstruck as like a cynical fan of anything. And I'm like watching these guys enter the room one after the other. Like Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant has never looked cooler to me than he is like walking into a ballroom to meet all of these guys. It
He's
feels
not
like
meeting them. Seen them, you mean? Like, what's the big deal? They're acting like they've just never spent time together.
I mean, so much
meeting
progress.
them as in like it's a meeting.
You
and
made
they're
so much
meeting.
progress.
Hey guys, one step at a time. Now we have gone past the stage where we can give him new things to work on. We're at the end of the show, so we got to encourage him now, guys. So let's not point out any more
Oh, okay.
Samson mistakes.
So I can't do it, but you can do it. Got
No,
it.
no, I'm done.
That's
You
because
can always
you're a
do it.
woman.
Got it,
Okay.
got it.
I don't think Jessica's ever had a problem
My
doing
name's
it.
Lucy.
I don't know what's
here.
happening anymore, and I don't like it.
You're in charge today.
Yeah.
Pablo, did
Reel
you see,
everybody
Did you
in.
see the video of Embiid flopping against college kids
I don't
in their
like
first
this
scrimmage?
either.
Seriously, because you're like so taken by this team.
It's a good question.
I hope they don't have that video.
Do you watch this video of them getting together like, man, I wonder if they can win the gold?
Do you think? Do you think Embiid's gonna
Kind of.
sit out if they play Serbia?
Okay.
Do you think Giannis is upset he's not in that room?
Oh man.
I saw him crying after Greece made it. I think he was crying after they made it. There was a,
was a big thing.
It was them in Slovenia.
Yeah, they
and
beat
it was
Luka.
Winner
Yep.
gets in, basically.
That brings up an interesting question. Do you think these guys would rather be the one guy on the team like Giannis, or rather be on this essentially another dream team where you are a piece to the puzzle?
So I think that being on this specific team does feel special because the people who are on it are actually like the best players in the league who are American. So to me, there is something that makes me, again, kind of childlike about, like, I can't believe Anthony Edwards and LeBron and Steph and KD and Joel Embiid and Kawhi Leonard and all these guys are together.
Kevin Durant.
Kevin Durant.
Don't leave him out. Don't leave those.
He's in there too.
all-time
Kevin Durant's
scoring
they're
leader.
giving interviews now. It just feels like Team USA, for people who don't know, like every 4 years, it's not just about are they going to win the gold medal, as Billy was insultingly characterizing it. It's also that you get inside of this network where, again, in past years, this is where off-season stuff has really come to pass. This is where super teams had been formed. This is where friendships are made that reshape the league. And I think that Team USA at its best in an era when it's actually unclear whether the gap between Team USA and the second best team, how big that even is anymore. I think it all adds to this level of something special is happening, which I, again, am indulging fully. I'm really into this Olympic team.
I think Giannis has more appreciation and more emotion for Greece than anybody in that room has for the U.S. He wants to win. If he can get something accomplished as the only guy, quote unquote, for his country, it would be so meaningful versus going in as the dream team. It's like, is the dream team in 92. Yeah. They were going to win. They won. It was expected. That can never feel as good as when you're not supposed to win.
Yeah, I mean, I think you said in this room now is different than on the podium when they get medals. So, like, on the podium, I think that, yeah, Giannis, if Giannis wins a gold, silver, or bronze, he's going to be happier than any of the U.S. players, no matter what medal they win. But emotion tied to it, I'm not sure that I would differentiate.
See, to me, it's also, David, it's about making this team. Because this is like the dream team. This isn't like prior Olympic teams. This is 4 of the 20 best players ever.
Steph has never been on an Olympic team before.
LeBron and Steph, the most, influential players of the generation. Kevin Durant, Kawhi Leonard. That's the Mount Rushmore of the last 15 years of the NBA. And so if you're Anthony Edwards, if you're Tyrese Halliburton, getting to play with them is incredibly meaningful, even if it's not about winning the medal for.
Steph Curry never was on a team because he was hurt, didn't want to be, because he didn't make one.
I assume that was the
first two.
Yeah, would be my guess.
So this is the first time he's been healthy enough to play?
It's still a significant thing. No matter the reason why you haven't done it before, it's significant that this is the first time that you're doing it. And this team is different than I think last Olympics team had some guys on it that were playing a role that were not like greatest of all time. It's like there are only guys on this team right now are in that great conversation or about to be.
Also, the last Summer Olympics was so weird because of COVID, and there were like no fans there, and a lot of people were sick and missed it at the last minute. And it was just such a cluster that I'm like really, really excited for the Summer Olympics because it feels like the first like full Olympic cycle that we've had in like 8 years.
Except for the swimming part.
Why?
No one's read about the Seine and the Seine?
Oh, we talked about it a couple weeks ago. Yes, there was going to be a poop
failed.
protest. It failed.
So they failed a couple days ago. So now they're making alternate plans for the marathon, swim, and the triathlon, including making the triathlon a duathlon. No, a duathlon. A duathlon.
Biathlon?
Oh,
That's the word.
it very well could be that, but I think it's duo. I think it starts with duo. But just getting rid of the swim and the triathlon, which is insane, just making it the bike and the run, and the billions of dollars that France has spent to clean up the Seine, it's been wasted, pun intended.
A biathlon is a winter sport that combines cross-country skiing and rifle shooting.
Oh,
Nope,
yeah,
not
right,
that.
Right.
We're not doing that in the river.
No. So I think it is duathlon.
Keldon Johnson was on the 2020-21 U.S. men's Olympic team, just FYI.
Not every time, but there are quite a few Olympic events that I look up, and I heard you guys talking about steeplechase before. Duathlon is another example of it where you're like, man, should this be an Olympic event? But it makes me feel better about adding things like breakdancing, where it's like, this is weird. But then I look, it's like, hey, they're out here doing all this other foolishness. Why can't we throw out some cardboard and get busy and get a medal for it?
What about twirling? How do you feel about twirling?
What's twirling?
I have a quick
Like
twirling
baton
story.
twirling.
Yes.
My friend did it growing up. It's insane.
It's super hard.
And they do it while the thing's on fire. I don't understand it.
I was playing pickleball indoors, and next to me there were 2 people training for the twirling championships in Sweden. And they're trying to get twirling into the Olympics in 8 years. And so they're making a big twirl push. And the way they practice the twirling, they're throwing this thing up in the air, and it's the highest indoor ceiling in Long Island.
Speaking of hitting the ceiling of this particular show, joining us now over Zoom is Brad.
Whoa! We did it!
Brad!
Brad, welcome to the show. David Samson is sitting next to me. We've been investigating a story that
You look great, man.
that I wonder how much you recall about. The story of you paying $500 to a now former Marlins batboy and him barfing very white barf all over the clubhouse, I suppose.
Yeah, I mean, you cut out on that first part, but yeah, I was shocked. I mean, David laid the hammer on that poor kid. At that point, it was, well, let me think, it was 10 games for steroids and how long for milk, Samson?
6 games, Brad.
6 games, that poor kid. Are you sure that's all that was?
No, it was forever.
Why are you laughing?
It was a lot more than 6 games.
Man, you look great.
Thank you. I appreciate it. How
Good
you
to
guys
see
doing?
you. It's great to see you.
Way to change the subject. So did you agree with David Samson's decision to eliminate this poor guy's pension over a little bit of a little milk vomit?
Absolutely not. Not even. I mean, the kid still did his job. He did throw up, but then he moved on and did everything he was supposed to do that day, and he didn't miss any work. So, no, I didn't agree with it.
Brad, did you supplement his income once he was let go?
It's not his responsibility.
Because you felt badly?
Not his responsibility.
I think we all kicked in quite a bit. Yeah, he probably was way better off.
Part of the story.
How much did David Samson kick in?
He actually might have fined the kid and taken some of that pot from him.
Fucking penny.
Brad, did you know that David also fired and eliminated the pension of his brother? We learned that from Nick.
Of who?
Nick's brother.
Oh, so he got both of them for the milk.
2 for 1, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, that sounds like something David would do, though. I mean, you know that risk when you work for him, right, David?
Every day is a new day, Brad. You could be with us. You could be traded. You could win a ring. You just never
That's
know.
right. That is true. I'll never forget when I got traded, guys. You'll love this. I went in there, and this was right after we won the World Series, and we kind of, as a team, we talked. And I went in. I think it was Mike at the time, maybe Mike Hill. I went in there and said I would take a discount if we could keep this team together. And literally within a week, I was gone.
Wait, we just argued about taking discounts with LeBron James earlier in the
David
show.
was on the other side of that argument.
David on the other side of the argument, and
Brad,
of
in
course.
all of our years together, never once have I heard you utter the words "I would take a discount."
You calling this man a
It
liar?
was 100% true. I talked to
Who
Mike
did you
about
want
it.
us to keep? You wanted Pudge back? Like what?
No. Just the core group. Just us. You know, me and Josh and those guys. I think it was Mike. I talked to Mike and I said, here's what I'll take to stay. And I mean, I'm actually worked out better for me because I got about double what I would have stayed for.
You're welcome.
Everything
thank
about
you.
money, David.
By
Thank
the
you
way,
very
judging on where you're at, I just would like to say things worked out very well for you, Mr. Penny.
Yeah, for people not
I was-
watching, he seems to be
I was
patrolling in a state of some sort, which looks beautiful.
I'm trying to. I got 4 kids, so I'm trying to find a spot where I could possibly not be interrupted.
How did you settle on $500 as the amount of money you would pay Nick Cirillo if he did not barf milk all over the clubhouse?
So it was just a bet, and it had been going on, for a little bit. And we said, we'll give you. It was me actually. I said, Nick, I'll give you $500 if you can drink this milk and keep it down for an hour. And I mean, it took him to the very last minute to get it down. And I mean, it was hilarious. I can't even explain to you how hard he threw up.
Please try.
I mean, I can't. It was. I mean, it was a good. And it was in the
What kind of exit
physical
velocity are
comfort.
we talking on that?
Big time. I mean, it was. I've never seen anything like it unless it was on like the Exorcist movie.
Yeah, Law Jangle.
How many
It was
heaves?
unbelievable.
How many heaves? Was it 2, 3 heaves? What would you...
Just one long stream.
Whoa, dude! We thought he would
mean, it
die.
was-
He could have died. Just on a side note, never mentioned before is the fact that he could have died.
Man,
Could have.
No,
He
he was
didn't.
fine.
I mean, everybody could die.
You think the $500 may have come from your per diems?
I don't know. I know this. I know you were so concerned about that kid dying, you fired him.
Exactly right. I'm a good guy. I don't want anyone to die on my watch. Unfortunately, it didn't work out
Die
that
on
way,
your
but
own time. Oh, David.
Brad,
That was the Brad. I can't believe
has
you found
has
Brad.
has anyone successfully? I'm trying to find out the answer to this question. Has anyone ever successfully chugged a gallon of milk inside of an hour and not vomited?
Not on my watch. I've done it several times, and no one has passed that test.
You did it more in your career or since
of
you
course.
retired?
Don't tell who you did it because David will
In my
go
career.
find them
In
and
my
try
career.
to fire them.
As a Marlin? When you were a Marlin, you did it again?
Nope, I did it at other organizations.
Got it.
Good answer, Brad.
And I assume
I
it's
wasn't.
true.
I wasn't even on the Marlins when I did it the first time. I was with the Dodgers. I was in the visiting clubhouse.
Did anybody get fired or for that time?
That was the time.
The time with
that,
him, he was
Nick
visiting.
got fired.
Oh, that was the
I,
time. Okay,
I
gotcha.
would have done it as a Marlin, but I thought I'd get released.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Who would ever do that?
I would only have done
I
that
would
if
never do that. Working for Samson, I knew that I better wait till I get traded.
Brad, before we let you go, what is your favorite ride at Disney World?
At Disney World, I do go a lot. I got a lot of kids. Man, I don't know. It's been a while since I've been there.
Ratatouille.
We usually go to, I like the Tower of Terror.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
I always talk to my
That's a good one. Guardians. of the
Brad,
Galaxy.
thank you.
You got it, man. No problem.
Brad Penny,
So
thank you
good
for
to see
completing our investigation. We can all rest now that the truth has been found.
The Tower of Terror, also known as David Samson's office.
See you, Brad.
This is the Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugotz podcast.